What's up, kids? Blackie back again. Starting the weekend off right with some fucking Ozzy. Just got through a dick festival of a Saturday work day. It was absolutely awful. I work at a rent-to-own outlet, as in like an assistant manager or whatnot. But basically, I'm a repo man. I do repos for this particular outlet in a city here in eastern North Carolina. Needless to say, the job is not very much fun, but it's a decent check, so I continue to do it. But as you can see, I'm pretty talented, if that's what you want to call this, with other stuff. So I'm pursuing my little crack at least marginal celebrity is what I'm going for. So, but anyway, I'm jamming on some old school Ozzy tonight, namely Randy Rhodes. Randy Rhodes is my hero, man. I got into guitar and stuff in high school. I had to do this thing to graduate in high school called senior project, where basically you had to learn a craft or something like that. You had to go under the wing of a professional who does something, and you learn that craft. And I chose guitar because I was into metal at the time, and I had this really good guitar mentor guy, Mr. Bimbenek, and a friend of mine, this kid I grew up with in school, Mike. We both were mentored underneath Bimbenek, right? And like I was telling you in the I had a Metallica video I did earlier in the month. I was talking about how he was all Kirk Hammett and everything, and his whole style was all, Kirk Hammett basically had us listen to old school Metallica and go from there with it and everything. So we learned Metallica, we learned Megadeth, we learned that kind of stuff, and he showed us what metal was all about and what we should have been looking for, what we should have been trying to listen to if we were into metal, or calling ourselves into metal or whatever. So anyway, I discovered Randy Rhodes through just listening to some old Ozzy and shit, and it was totally what I wanted to sound like. That was my whole goal, was to eventually learn my acts to the point where I could lay down those oh so clean and sick finger tap shits. Check this out. Yeah, man. See, that's what it's about. I totally wanted to sound just like that. Just the whole, finger tapping and he totally just took the song away. Like Ozzy was already established and had gone solo, and this is Ozzy Osbourne. He was big then. This is when was that performance? The After Hours performance. It's famous. It's all over YouTube. It is technically one of Randy Rhodes' best performances ever. So it's definitely something to check out whenever you get a chance. Randy Rhodes live, Mr. Crowley. As if you were listening to that, man, he took away the last the last 2 minutes of the song. It was just all his solo there, all the second solo, but the first solo was sick too. Like, if you watch the video, the fucking bass player gets fucking stoked off of those solos. He just starts like ripping. It's like he's doing bass, but you could totally tell he was totally feeling the guitar parts. But that's how sick Randy Rhodes was, man. I could only imagine what it would have been like to play with him, playing bass, and this guy just jumps out and just busts out a crazy solo like that. But anyway, it's Randy Rhodes. You youngsters, if you're not familiar with him, I definitely suggest you go and check him out. Go look him up, do something, because as a metalhead, you owe it to yourself to find out more about Randy Rhodes. But anyway, as I was saying, it's a big influential piece of what I've learned and everything. I really wanted to model my whole style after Randy Rhodes. I'm still looking to do that. I'm hoping to get big with this whole black metal thing, and hope you guys like it. I want to start trying to get out there and like reaching people, maybe get some people on this little video thing I do. I can't really get the rights to the music or whatever, so hopefully I can get the next best thing and have a couple people maybe appear on my little video show on YouTube here. So anyway, let's keep hope alive, and hopefully what I'll do is get my whole thing monetized, and get the money to get this sweet Randy Rhodes axe that I've been eyeballing for quite some time now. My old guitars, I just the repair work that I really need to have done from the year. I got a warped neck on my bass, I got a warped neck on my guitar. It's just not in there. They're from so long ago, and I really want to get to that point where I've bought that one axe that is the one that would last you forever, the one that I bought myself. Like, both of my guitars are guitars I grew up playing. One a hand-me-down, and one my own personal I received as a kid, but I learned with in high school and everything with Bimbenek for the senior thing. But as I was saying before, my senior project changed my whole life just because I started dabbling with guitar. Then went on to go to school, and had this really good friend Matt, who he was really good. He'd been playing 4 or 5 years at that point, and he got me really into American metal. He was really, really into Pantera, that kind of thing. I had already liked Pantera as it was, but he got me more like into learning like why Dimes was such a good guitar player and everything, and why Pantera was such a great metal band technically, not just the whole image thing. Because I was from here in Eastern North Carolina at the time, was really like 5 years behind the rest of the world. So my understanding of music, especially metal, was more of the image thing. I wasn't really into the whole technical. I didn't know much about music at all to even know technically like who was good and that kind of thing. I didn't know anything about guitar. I didn't know anything about why I liked the sound of what instruments were making it. So being a good guitarist and somebody who was serious about metal and who had put in the work, who could play virtually any Metallica song, and was the first thing my guitar mentor had me try to learn was Kill the King by Megadeth, just a like that's the first thing I learned metal wise significantly on guitar. Of course, I learned Smoke on the Water when I was a kid. Everybody could play that, Smoke on the Water riff, but that first opening thing there to Kill the King was my first little taste of, shredding metal, like seriously on my guitar, like down to knowing what I was doing. But anyway, as I was saying, Randy Rhodes was such a great guitarist as it was. I can obviously see the influence in Alexi Leo, Children of Bodom. If you're not familiar with them, another great guitar heavy band with dual guitars, him and Root Palatvala. It was also another guy, Alexander, who was in Children of Bodom earlier. He was really good too. I'm a big Root fan though. Root really has taken the reins as far as Children of Bodom goes. Well, it's been a few years now. I'm talking like he just got it. Root's established. He's been there, long enough to where it's not even a talk. But anyway, I definitely see the huge influence of Randy Rhodes to Alexi. But Alexi clearly has a lot of American influence. Steve Vai and what was another one? I was real into Alexi one year, like as far as learning about him and what his influences were. But I mean, obviously I could hear the Randy Rhodes influence, him playing the same Jackson more or less too. I know he plays ESPs primarily now, but I know that his main axes are Jacksons, I do believe. I'm almost certain. I could swear, yeah, Jacksons. They are Jacksons, but he promotes ESPs, but he plays primarily ESPs too. But anyway, two, absolutely great guitarists, virtuosos. Definitely. I mean, that's not even just my opinion. They were indeed guitar virtuosos. But well, Alexi still being alive anyway. But like I was saying, definitely once I get everything together, I want to grab hold of that particular sound. There's nothing in this world like the way Randy Rhodes could rip. And if you get a chance, like I was saying, check out Mr. Crowley, the live clip on YouTube. It's about 6 minutes long. It's been out there for well over 10 years now. It's absolutely spectacular. It will definitely leave you a little moist. But anyway, let me see. What was I gonna fucking do? I'm gonna come back again at some point here tonight and wax a little black metal once I get my mind straight to what I want to talk about. But anyway, I was really feeling that Randy Rhodes and kind of wanted to take a minute and shine a little light on the great Randy Rhodes. He is missed, and I really hate that I'll never get the chance to meet such a great person who is such a great musician and somebody who's held enough influence to look at this, look at what I'm doing now, like this is what that kind of thing has brought me to. It's black metal, and he didn't play black metal, but I love metal so much because of Ozzy, Randy Rhodes, that early stuff that was mainstream, and before I discovered the non-mainstream guys who were a little bit more hungry and a little bit more dedicated to the craft. I mean, that's just the truth. When you make less money, you're more dedicated to craft because you have to be. You're not making any money. And the music you make is just a little bit more pure in comparison to the mainstreamer guys. Not the case with Randy Rhodes. Randy Rhodes definitely was through and through a musician first. And that's off the lips of all the, living artists who I've ever heard speak of him, I should say. Again, look into Randy Rhodes. Make sure you owe it to yourself as a metalhead to find out more information about him. He was, like I said, one of the greatest guitarists to ever live. So anyway, I'll check you guys out later. Shout out to Sexy Jesus. Shout out to my other Twitter followers. Rock on.